"Ma'am, I must ask you to remove that necklace," Judge Harrington repeated. His voice sharp-clipped, echoing through the sterile courtroom like a command barked across a parade ground at Ella Anderson. Still didn't move. She sat in the third row of the gallery. Posture straight, hands calm in her lap, wearing a simple red blouse that made the pale blue ribbon stand out even more vividly. The ribbon dotted with 13 white stars. The gold star. The anchor. The laurel. The Medal of Honor. But to Judge Harrington, it was nothing more than a disruption. A trinket. An inconvenience to the absolute control he believed he commanded within these four walls. Ella's gaze wasn't even on him. It was on the young sailor standing before the bench. Seaman Adrian Peterson, a kid barely 19, shoulders tight with fear as he waited for a ruling that would decide whether he could pay rent this month. He had gone 20 miles over the speed limit trying to get to his second job on time. Ella came for him. She didn't come to challenge authority. She came to make sure he wasn't crushed by it, but the judge didn't see her purpose. He only saw a woman not bowing to his ego. "Ma'am," the judge pressed, voice rising, "remove it. This chamber has a strict decorum." His gavel tapped, sharp, irritated. The bailiff, a large man with a tired kindness in his eyes, shifted uneasily. He recognized the ribbon. Everyone with military service recognized it. It wasn't something you asked people to remove, not unless you had absolutely no understanding of what it meant. Ella finally spoke. "Your Honor," she said, voice steady, almost gentle, "it is authorized." The simple truth enraged him. Authorized by whom? "I am the authority in this courtroom." Peterson swallowed hard. He knew Ella from the Veterans Center Soldiers Legacy House. It's the nickname everyone used because her stories, her guidance, her presence kept their memories alive. She helped them with paperwork, jobs, therapy, survival. She helped them believe the uniform they had worn still meant something. The judge didn't know who she was. He only knew she didn't obey. "This is not a parade ground," Harrington continued, leaning forward like a man addressing a disobedient cadet. "This is a courtroom of law. Remove it now, or I will hold you in contempt." The people in the gallery sat frozen. Even the lawyers had gone still. The air carried the strange, electric tension of an oncoming disaster. The bailiff took one hesitant step toward her. Ella didn't flinch. She didn't move her hands. She didn't reach for the medal. She would not participate in its desecration. "Ma'am," the bailiff murmured, almost pleading, "please don't make this difficult." Ella gave him a soft, sad smile. "You're just doing your job." Her voice held no defiance, no anger, just understanding the kind that comes from someone who had seen men forced into impossible decisions. But the judge saw defiance anyway. "I find you in contempt," he thundered, slamming the gavel. "Bailiff, remove the contraband and escort this woman from my courtroom. That gaudy necklace will be held as evidence." It happened in an instant, a single word triggering a storm. Gaudy. The sound ripped something, deep open inside Ella, for a heartbeat. The courtroom dissolved around her. The polished wood benches became shattered concrete. The climate-controlled air thickened with smoke, dust, and blood. The judge's voice melted into the shrieking arc of incoming mortar fire. She wasn't in a courtroom. She was back in Helmond Province. The rough canvas of a trauma bag strap cut into her neck as she dragged a wounded Marine across rubble. The metallic scent of blood filled her lungs. The radio crackled. There was screaming, not panic, but urgency, determination. Life trying desperately not to become death. She could feel him again, the weight of the lance corporal on her back. Ohio kid, baseball player. Terrible at poker, but always smiling. His blood sticky on her hands as she packed the wounds with superhuman precision. The Medal of Honor wasn't a trophy. It was the ghosts she carried. The bailiff reached gently toward her arm. "Ma'am." "Please," Ella blinked. The battlefield vanished. She was back. But the adrenaline hadn't left her bloodstream. Her breathing was controlled, but her muscles were tight. Fighting memories she wished the medal didn't force her to relive. At the clerk's desk, David, A quiet 24-year-old Marine veteran stared at her with widening eyes. He recognized her the moment she walked in. Every Marine in the state did. He had served 2 years after she had retired. But her name was on plaques, in stories, in memorial speeches. Anderson was practically legend, the medic who ran toward fire when everyone else had taken cover, the woman whose actions had saved 6 men in a single afternoon. Under hellish conditions, he saw the judge, a man who had never seen a battlefield, about to strip a Medal of Honor off a veteran in front of a room full of citizens. David felt sweat beading on his palms. "Judge," he whispered, hesitant, "sir." "I don't think silence, clerk." Harrington barked without looking at him. Peterson's panic grew. "Your Honor, she-s quiet?" The judge snapped. But something had shifted. A slow, quiet ripple of motion spread through the courtroom. A man in the audience stood. Then another. Then a woman. Then 2 lawyers. Posture straight, hands at their sides. Veterans, some old. Some young, some limping, some with faded unit tattoos. They recognized the ribbon. They recognized her. The judge finally noticed the movement and frowned. "What is the meaning of this?" he demanded. David rose to his feet as well. His voice shook, not with fear, but with conviction. "Sir, that necklace is the Medal of Honor." The judge blinked, clueless. "So what?" "It is still an unauthorized—" "No, Your Honor," David interrupted, voice firming. "It is the highest military decoration this nation awards. She is not required to remove it. Anywhere." A murmur swept through the gallery. Agreement, outrage, disbelief that the judge didn't know. Peterson looked at Ella with something like awe. The judge sputtered. "Well, regardless, this is my courtroom then." "Your courtroom," a voice said from the back. An older veteran wearing a faded army jacket. "Should show some damn respect." The judge's face flushed crimson. "I will not be lectured." But he was losing the room. Every veteran in the gallery now stood, like a wall, silent. United. Ella finally rose, slowly, calmly, gracefully. She didn't shout. She didn't accuse. She didn't need to. She simply spoke. "I carried 6 men out of a kill zone, Your Honor. 4 lived. 2 didn't." Her voice was soft, devastating. "This medal is not a decoration. It is a memorial." The courtroom fell into absolute silence. She stepped past the bailiff, who respectfully lowered his hand. She approached the bench, not aggressively, just close enough that the judge had to see the medal clearly, see the weight of it, the history of it, the sacrifice woven into every scratched millimeter of the gold star. "Your Honor," she said gently, "I came to support a young sailor who served this country, and I will continue to do so whether or not you understand what that means." Harrington swallowed hard. His authority cracked. Ella looked back at Peterson. "Soldier's legacy," she said softly. "The name of her center, her mission, her promise. We take care of our own. Remember that." Peterson nodded, eyes glassy. Turning back to the judge, Ella didn't threaten him. She didn't belittle him. She simply said, "You can hold me in contempt, but you cannot shame the dead. And you will not shame their memory by tearing this from me." The judge's mouth opened, then closed. His gavel hovered uncertainly. He could punish her, but if he did, the world outside these walls would explode with outrage. Every veteran, every service member, every citizen who understood sacrifice. He wasn't brave enough for that fight. "Charges withdrawn," he muttered, defeated. "Case dismissed. Everyone is excused." The room exhaled as one. Ella turned and walked out, calm and dignified, the Medal of Honor resting over her heart. Peterson hurried after her. "Ma'am, thank you for everything." Ella placed a steady hand on his shoulder. "That's what soldier's legacy means," she said. "We stand together, always." And as she stepped into the sunlight outside the courthouse, the ghost behind her finally felt a little lighter.